So guys, just finished the gym session. Just going to talk to you guys a little bit about my pre-workout formulas that I use before my training sessions to help give me a little bit more energy, better pump, better blood flow to the muscles, everything that you need to try to work a little bit harder, especially when you're doing that high volume stuff. When you're doing high volume kind of training, you really need that kind of cutting edge to make sure that you're getting rid of all the lactic acid out of the muscle and also trying to pump more blood into the muscle cells. So what I use is a pre-workout formula. I use my pre. It's got a good amino acid blend, it's got a good amount of caffeine in it. I only use 1 scoop for that, but then what I do is I kind of add my own little stuff into it just to make it that little bit better. So I use some citrulline malate. I just throw in about 1 or 2 scoops of that into there, and what that does is it helps to actually increase the amount of blood flow that goes into your muscle cells so that it delivers more nutrients to the cell, and that way you get a better pump, but you also get more actual nutrients going into the muscle cell to help fuel that cell to give it more energy, allow you to train a little bit harder, do a couple more reps, and also help to remove all the waste products out of the muscle cells a little bit better too. So then with that, I add a little bit more creatine, just because you never go wrong with creatine. It just helps to restore ATP stores a little bit more. ATP is what the fastest source of energy that your muscles use when you first start training. So that first 30 seconds when you start to do an exercise, you're predominantly using ATP. And then once you move on from 30 seconds, you start to burn into your glucose stores or your glycogen stores. And then after that, then you start to burn into your fat stores. So you want to try and replenish those glycogen stores as much as possible, especially if you're doing high strength, low rep kind of stuff, because that's where you're going to get your most amount of energy from. Your higher volume stuff, you're obviously going to use your ATP stores, but then you're going to use more glucose and glycogen stores after that 30-second mark, roughly. So then after that, I use some beta-alanine. That's the stuff that gives you the tingles. That's the stuff that helps to actually remove waste products out of your muscle cells a little bit more efficiently. So whenever you get a really good pump during a set, you'll get a build-up of lactic acid inside your muscle cells, which is that burning factor that you get with it. What that does is it helps to actually buffer that lactic acid so that you don't get it as soon as possible. Tyson, shut up. Stupid dog. So that you don't get it as soon as usual, and that means that you can actually push for a little bit longer without your muscle cells giving out as quickly. Then on top of that, I'm going to put a bag for it because it's still broke, but I'll add some acetyl-l-carnitine in there. Acetyl-l-carnitine, now there's 2 forms of L-carnitine that you can go for. You can go for your standard L-carnitine tartrate, which is the most common form, and then you can go for your acetyl-l-carnitine. I use acetyl-l-carnitine because it actually helps with your brain as well. See, with your brain you've got what's called a blood-brain barrier, and acetyl-l-carnitine is something that can cross that blood-brain barrier, which generally doesn't allow many nutrients into your brain to obviously protect it. But it helps increase things like your memory, productivity, everything that's good, not just for training, but also for when you're doing work and everything else like that, to make you a little bit more productive, a little bit more efficient, think a little bit smarter, which is just as important, guys. But also, obviously, the L-carnitine just to help mobilize fat a little bit more in the cells. So obviously, the more energy you can burn within your muscle cells when you're training, the better you're going to be able to train, the more you're going to get out of your training, and the more you're going to be able to push yourself. And it does help a little bit with that fat burn, but it's not really a fat burn, it's a fat mobilizer. Just helps to allow you to kind of tap into your fat stores a little bit more. So that's what I use before all my training sessions at the moment. I don't really rely on caffeine too much. It's a massive misconception that guys have when they go for a pre-workout formula. They want something that gives them energy. But the whole point of a pre-workout formula isn't actually for the energy side of things, it's for the performance enhancing side of it. More so the actual amino acids and the caffeine content. So whenever you're looking for a pre-workout formula, read the back of the label. The 3 most important ingredients that you want to look for is obviously caffeine, but you don't want a big amount in there. You don't want anything too strong, otherwise you kind of start to feel a little bit jittery and you won't feel too good during your training session. But then you want to make sure that something like either arginine or citrulline malate or AKG, which is kind of like the more advanced form of arginine, which will help to increase your pumps, help to increase the amount of nutrients delivered to your muscle cells. And then of course, lastly, you want to make sure that there's a good amount of beta-alanine in there. Look at those 2 or those 3 ingredients, make sure there's a good amount of them each in there. If it's just loaded with caffeine and it doesn't have many amino acids in there, then it's a crap pre-workout, don't worry about it. You could just get your caffeine from a coffee, it's pretty much the exact same thing. What you're buying a pre-workout for is for the amino acid factor. Also, try and get one that actually has a big ingredient list. Don't go for something that's only got 5 ingredients, although that might make it a little bit more concentrated. A good pre-workout will have a whole heap of ingredients, including antioxidants, to help reduce any oxidative damage that occurs during training. See, whenever you start to train and your body starts burning through oxygen, you actually create oxidative damage, and what your what your antioxidants do is act as scavengers. So they go into the cells in the bloodstream and they help to actually extract and neutralize all of your oxidative damage, so that the free radicals don't damage your body, don't break down cells, and help to keep you a little bit healthier. And it also helps to increase your pump length as well, so that your pump will last for longer during your workout, and that will obviously help you train a little bit longer, make the pump last a little bit longer, and give you better performance in the gym. So that's my pre-workout stack at the moment. Sometimes at the moment, because I'm obviously dieting down for a competition, I do use the caffeine in every single workout, but when I'm not actually dieting down, I actually don't really like to use caffeine too often, just because I don't feel I need it. With training, you shouldn't feel like as if you need energy to go to the gym. The energy should come from your food, and then your amino acids are going to help increase your performance in the gym. So make sure your diet is on point, guys. Make sure you're not under eating carbohydrates. You know, you're having a good amount of fats. You need a balance of those two. Don't do one extreme or the other. Don't go extremely low fat or extremely low carb. Find a good balance. Find something that actually works for what you're trying to do. Especially if you're doing high volume stuff, guys, you need a lot of carbohydrates, because like I said, anything after about 20-30 seconds starts burning into your glycogen and glucose stores, which is carbohydrates. That's why you need it, because you need it to allow you to actually push on. If you don't have enough, you're just going to fall flat and you're not going to be able to go too far with it. So rely on your diet for energy. Don't rely on pre-workouts for energy. Try and make sure that, you know, if you are relying on pre-workouts to try and get you some energy, that you actually have a look at your diet, change it up. You shouldn't be relying on it whatsoever at all, even just during through the daytime. If you're the kind of person that needs to get 3 to 5 coffees into you in the morning time before you can even start doing work, that's a good sign that there's something wrong with your diet and your health. You need to adjust your diet, make sure your nutrition is on point. You'll feel a lot better, and you won't need any caffeine at all, or any stimulant for that factor, throughout the entire day to do what you need to do. You shouldn't even have like a mid-afternoon slump like some people have. You should be able to power on throughout the entire day on a level amount of energy throughout the entire day, and that will ensure that your diet is actually on point. So I hope that helps you guys. Use it. If you have any questions, just comment below. I'll be happy to answer them all. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Just one day.